So really quickly before I get into today's topic about Nintendo and the Switch, surprise, surprise, I just have to say one thing. I just started playing this bad boy right here, and I gotta tell you, I am really, really digging it. If you've been following me for the last 2 years, you probably know that I was one of those people who was really excited for the first Watch Dogs, and of course, I waited to pick up my very delayed and late copy of Watch Dogs on the Nintendo Wii U, and I still ended up loving that game. It's actually really, really fun. I made a couple, 5-part Let's Play or whatever back in the day, 2014 when that game launched, which is crazy to think about. And I really liked the first game. It obviously didn't live up to the promise, and the Wii U version, that's its own whole ball of issues. But when you just look at it as a game, I thought the first Watch Dogs was pretty fun, so for some reason I was really excited for Watch Dogs 2. And I gotta tell you, it's great. I love the world. I love running around San Francisco. The game is extremely polished. I love the main character, Marcus. I thought Aiden was okay. Marcus is definitely more interesting, and more important than Marcus, it's his group of DedSec compadres. There's a group of 4 of them in total. I can't remember now. 4 or 5 of them. And they're great. They're really fun. They're funny. They all have their own individuality. They all work together and have different skills and different personalities. And they all work together. Everyone in the game, including Marcus, is really funny. The game is like super meta and cracks all these weird jokes. And I obviously don't want to give you a full review or anything. I just got to say the game is great. I love the mission structure. I love the hacking element. I love the UI, the way your phone and the apps on your phone is integrated into the game. Far superior than how the first game handled it. It's great. It's interesting because I think what we've learned is even with Watch Dogs 2, which is far better than the first, really the promise of the first Watch Dogs has not been met. And this game, with this series, they tried to tell us was going to be the future of how we interact with games and control our characters and the stories and the environments. And it was a great promise. It was really exciting. Neither game has delivered on that. So with Watch Dogs 2, I can basically tell that they're never going to deliver on that. But that's okay, because they've made a pretty unique world. It's a pretty fun open world experience. And it's a great kind of story they have, continuing building off the first game. And I mean, I would love to see them continue to make more games set in different cities that they create with such fine, loving attention to detail. In fact, take us outside of the States. Take us to Tokyo. Take us to Russia. Take us to India next time. That would be super cool. So basically, Watch Dogs 2, I gotta tell you guys, big surprise, totally kicks ass. Anywho, let's get to the goods. Obviously, we're talking about Nintendo and the Switch. It's what we like to do. It's what I like to do. It's what you guys like to hear about. So over the past couple of days, everyone and their mom knows this. There's been a couple of very interesting quotes from very interesting people working within the video game industry, people who have a lot of clout, one can say. And they've been talking about the Switch and their behind closed doors time that they've spent with the console. And what's really great is it's basically all been super positive. So the 2 main quotes and people that I'm talking about, we all know, Todd Howard from Bethesda and the GameStop CEO, whose name I can't remember, and I want to see if I have it right here in front of me somewhere. Paul Raines. I knew I had it. Good for me. So Todd Howard of Bethesda, Paul Raines of GameStop, the CEO. They have been discussing the Switch in a couple of recent interviews, and they both said some great things. I'm going to read to you really quickly the 2 main highlight quotes from each of them. Todd Howard said a couple of things. He had a big old interview talking about VR, Fallout, did talk about the Switch and a couple of things. The main thing he said, the question was, what do you think of the Switch, Nintendo's newly announced console, that is portable but also hooks up to your TV? That was the question that was asked to him by someone. I don't really know who was asking him. Sorry to that person. And Todd Howard's response was, quote, I love it. I got to play it. I will tell you, well, maybe that's an NDA thing. One of the best demos I've ever seen. Probably the best demo I've ever seen at E3. So pretty bold statement there. He says probably the best demo I've ever seen. Of course, he added the at E3 portion, and people haven't really been talking about that. I can't tell if he's trying to say it's literally the best demo he's ever seen of anything, if it's the best hardware demo he's ever seen, or if it's just the best demo of anything he's ever seen specifically at E3, but maybe other demos he's seen behind closed doors that he might not have talked about are cooler than what the Switch is. But we're really splitting hairs there anyway. It's a pretty amazing quote and really great things to hear from someone who I actually like. I love Bethesda. I love Todd Howard. I love everything that those guys do. You can call me crazy if you want. I don't care. I love those guys. So I love hearing him talk so positively about Nintendo and the Switch. And then Paul Raines of GameStop had this to say in a recent, what was this? This was an earnings briefing, apparently. And this, I think, was from today. He said, the Nintendo Switch, which I played at Nintendo a few weeks ago, we believe could be another game changer that will expand the gaming audience. So he elaborated on that a little bit more, but that was the main quote that I wanted to pull out from him as well. Interesting because, of course, he's not talking about E3 or anything. It sounds like they probably invited Paul Raines or maybe a couple of people from GameStop, or they've probably invited a lot of people we have yet to hear from throughout the industry, retailers, game developers, and the like, literally right to Nintendo's offices, whether it would be somewhere in Nintendo of Japan or maybe here in the great state of Washington, where I live, in Redmond, Washington, where Nintendo of America is located. I don't live in Redmond, but I am in Washington. You know, they've brought some of these people in, and they've obviously let them get hands-on with the Switch. And I love the idea that they took the CEO of GameStop and said, come on in, come on over to Nintendo. We want to show you what we're doing. We want to make you feel comfortable with our vision. We want to make you understand what we're trying to do, because we want to use you to help get our Nintendo Switch to people and to gamers, and you're going to want to use us to have product to sell to bring people into your stores, and everyone hopefully is winning and making money, and the gamers are winning because they're getting a product that hopefully they really enjoy and that we're proud of. So there's a lot going on there, and it's just business. That's how business works. So there's nothing nefarious happening. That's just normal. We should be happy with this. And so, yeah, I just wanted to discuss what it means that some of these insiders, some of these industry folk have seen the Switch, demoed and played the Switch, and have great things to say. So the first thing is this a surprise? And I would say no. Having seen what the Nintendo Switch is, and also having seen the overwhelmingly positive response, obviously there are some detractors, there are some people who are nervous and have trepidation. Understandably, I of course still have some questions, we all do. But for the most part, everyone has been reacting very positively to the Switch. People are excited. People who aren't gamers are excited. People who haven't been gaming in a long time suddenly are excited. Gamers who don't even game on Nintendo are excited. I mean, it's really hitting all of the right checkboxes right now, and it's really fantastic to see. So we've seen that the industry and the consumer has been ready to embrace it. A lot of the media has embraced it as well. But what about the people who really matter? The people who make games, the people who sell games and sell consoles like these two folks? It's really awesome to see them saying these things, but it doesn't surprise me because it looks that great. I mean, really, the Nintendo Switch, as I've said many times, let me backstep a minute. We still might find out some bad information. I like to remind people of this. I've done it a couple of times on videos recently. It all looks great right now, but there's bound to be some bad news. There's going to be a couple of bullet points that don't make us excited, that aren't exactly what we're looking for. And we need to embrace that. We need to be ready for, oh, the battery life is less than we want. Oh, the console isn't quite as powerful as we want. Oh, it's more expensive than I want it to be. Oh, there isn't as many launch games as I was excited for. This, that, and the other. There's many things that could still happen. All or none of those or some of those. But that being said, right now, it seems like the Nintendo Switch is doing a lot of things that people, gamers, people in the industry want. You have someone like Todd Howard, one of the most prolific developers, one of the most lauded developers in one of the most successful and in, one of my personal favorite game developing companies in the industry right now, saying such positive things. It's a really big deal. I think that we can take this as a really good sign. I don't think that this is people blowing smoke up our skirts. Yes, of course, when it comes to Paul Raines and GameStop, it's like, okay, they want to make you think it's a product you need to buy, because that means a lot of us will have to come into GameStop stores to buy it. And GameStop makes money just like Nintendo makes money. So of course he's going to say, oh, it's great. I mean, it's going to be so great. People should really buy it. Of course he's going to say that. But I don't know. This doesn't sound like something that is nefarious, that is a lie. I feel like he genuinely means this. He talks about it being a game changer. Kind of echoes what the Wii was. And yes, there were some bad things to the Wii, but overall, I mean, I love the system, but it did some of the more casually things that I think created some of Nintendo's problems the past couple of years. Hopefully what the Switch isn't going to emulate those problems, if you want to call them problems. I think that they can emulate what the Wii did well. A fantastic new way to play. An interesting concept, something that feels revolutionary, something that changes the way we play and interact with our games, and something that provides an amazing Nintendo library. We had an okay third-party library, a bunch of shovelware, some decent third-party stuff. I'm hoping the Switch is going to nail it with the third-party stuff big time, as we've talked about before. And that kind of leads us back into the Todd Howard thing, because one of the other things he did is almost, but not quite confirmed Skyrim is finally coming. We all know Skyrim was shown in the reveal trailer. Bethesda tweeted, we're happy to work with Nintendo on the Switch. Nintendo threw Bethesda up on that infographic of 128,000 different game developers who are working for the Switch, yet no one could confirm Skyrim despite the fact that we saw it. Ridiculous. Totally bonkers. That game has been coming for a while. But now, basically, in the same interview, someone asks him, can you really bring Skyrim on the go? Very clever question. And his response, quick, short, simple, one sentence, he says, it's the same game on the TV and on the other screen. That was all he said. That is not an actual confirmation, people, so let's not get too crazy, but it's kind of a confirmation. He's basically saying that that game is going to be on the Switch, which is very exciting, which means, you know, I'm happy to buy the remaster, even though I put 1 million hours into Skyrim 5 years ago. I'm going to buy the remaster. Knowing it's coming for the Switch means I'm happy to wait for the Switch version. That's the version that I want to play. I could pick it up on my PS4, Xbox One, PC, whatever, but I want to buy this on my Switch, and I'd like to have it on the go too. So it's very interesting. Basically, these quotes are showing that people who make games that matter are interested in the Switch and understand that it's a great system, the best demo he's ever seen. That's a big deal, you guys. And then someone who is a huge player in the market, the retailing video game industry, which is also a very important person and a very important entity, also says great things about his hands-on time with the demo of the Switch. This really goes to show that Nintendo might have really made sure that they talked to the right people before developing this thing, before finalizing what the dev kits look like, finalizing the power, the price structure, what the controller and the tablet thing does, and all these different things. I think they've got the hit that we want it to be, and it's very, very exciting. So, long story short, you know, this is going to be a quicker video than normal for me, but I think it's really great to see the industry reacting so positively, both on the outside, being us the gamers just talking about it on Twitter and on YouTube, and also inside the industry, people who make games and people who sell games. It's a very, very exciting time. It's a great, great thing. So I don't know, do you guys think this is as big of a deal as I do? Are you excited about this? Do you not really think it really means that much about Nintendo and the Switch and what they're doing? I think that would be crazy not to, but, you know, to each their own. Personally, I am pumped. I believe in the Switch. I believe in Nintendo. And I am really happy and emboldened to hear these great quotes. So tell me what you guys think. Check out Watch Dogs 2 if you haven't, by the way. Anyone who is playing that, please tell me what you think below. I want to know if you agree with me that it's a really kick-ass game. Very, very pleasantly surprised with Watch Dogs 2 so far. What do you think about Todd Howard and Paul Raines' quotes about the Nintendo Switch and their hands-on time? Really exciting time, you guys. So thanks, of course, as always, for tuning in. This is Rob of Rule 2 Review, and I'll catch you guys next time on another video.